everyone. I am Haley Murray. Welcome to my podcast, Socialite for Consciousness. Today, I bring you Tuesday's tips. And so today, I want to talk to you a little bit about aging. So I have a class coming up. It's an intro class. It is for anybody who would like to join. It's called Beyond Aging. This is an Access Consciousness intro class. It's an intro to the Access Facelift class. And I love this topic because I personally have never really believed in aging or that we had to get old, even before I started doing Access Consciousness. And I think it's one of the things that has kept me looking more youthful. I do always get guessed much younger than I am, which I think is great. And, you know, when we lose our points of view about aging, it can change the dynamics that we have with our body, with our face, how we show up in the world. And I'm going to give you some examples about this. So your tool for today, wait for it, it's the new one, it's a goodie. Interesting point of view. I'm having that point of view. Yes, this is actually an oldie but goodie. This is such a great tool to use for anything that you have going on in your life, including the aging process. Who says that our bodies had to get old? Who says that we have to age? Whose point of view is that? When we lose the points of view about how our bodies should show up in the world, we can change how they show up in the world. I had a turning point birthday in my life. I'm going to let you guys guess my age, although I give it away a little bit. My mother called me up and she asked me, if I felt old. Do I feel old? And I told her, Mom, didn't I tell you I'm aging in reverse? And I had a lot of fun with that conversation. I don't really think she knew what to do with that. I just never had a point of view about aging ever really in my life. And, hearing these different tools that we have with Access Consciousness, it reminded me of what I always knew, what was possible with my body as we begin to have more years that we have been on this planet. So what if you just changed your point of view? What if you just looked at your age as the time that you've been on this planet? And when you see yourself falling into those points of view about the aging process, or people projecting their points of view about the aging process on you, you can use this really simple tool of Access Consciousness. Interesting point of view. I'm having that point of view. Interesting point of view. They're having that point of view. This is just a teaser for you guys. Again, I am having this class that's coming up, and it's only $50. It is next Wednesday. If you can't attend the class, you can get the recording. So I'm not giving you all the tools today. We're going to take a deep dive into this aging process and getting ourselves out of thinking that we have to age. It's just a point of view. And when you change your point of view about anything, whether it's aging, your body, your money flows, it can change how everything shows up in your life. I have seen amazing things happen when people lose their points of view. I've also seen amazing things happen after people get the Access Energetic Facelift Run. This is a class I also have coming up. I do have them on the books. I know a lot of you are not wanting to gather still because of the coronavirus. Things are opening up much more here, even in New York City. And that class is available. If you would like to choose that class and you're in New York, you can always message me and we can gather a group together. Start using some of these simple tools of access around everything that you would like to change in your life, including your face. And how would you like it to show up? Would you like to have less wrinkles? Would you like to keep your youthful look? Begin using these tools now and see how they begin to change things. But you have to use the tools as well for them to change things. Every now and then I do have some points of view around aging every now and then, when it comes up where people project something on me. And I use this tool. I use what interesting point of view that having that point of view. And even who does this belong to? Because I know that I don't have points of view about aging. And I have some other points of view that have been more pressed upon me that I work with and I use interesting point of view for. However, when I have these things projected upon me, I use these tools to help them to keep from sticking to me, or for me to take on those thoughts or those projections myself. And I'm going to share with you a really interesting story that I've used in classes. And when I turned 40, or it might have been a year later, it's insignificant, I used to go to this restaurant in Brooklyn where I was living at the time. And I knew one of the waitresses there. And it was her birthday. And I just walked in. And she goes into all these points of view about aging. She's like, oh, it's my birthday. I'm so old. It's all over now. I mean, just on and on. And I said to her, I'll use a different name. I said to her, Natalie, how old are you? And she says, I just turned 25. And I wanted to break out laughing hysterically at her. She looked older than me, and she had a posture of an old person. Her hair looked old, her eyes looked old, everything about her looked old, because she had this point of view that she was old and that she was aging. And I've seen not just myself, but so many other people that look so youthful, that have a youthful appearance, that have youthful bodies, and they don't have points of view about aging. They use a lot of these tools, and they also get the Access Consciousness facelift run. So if you're curious, come to the class. It is online. It's not in person. So you'll just be joining in via Zoom. And again, you can receive the recording. If you cannot make it to the class live, you can even send in any questions that you might have, and they will be addressed during the Zoom. You can register my Access Consciousness website. It is accessconsciousness.com/Haley Montemayor. I will leave the link in the podcast. And you can visit my website, haleymarie.nyc. You can find me on social media as well, on Facebook. Here at the podcast, we get messages too. So send me a message if you're curious about the class. It's only $50. This is, to me, such an amazing class. There's so many points of view about aging. So many of us have had these points of view projected at us. So what could it change for you if you would like to choose it? So have an amazing day. I would love to see you next week on the Zoom Beyond Aging, and we will have another podcast out before then. Ciao for now.